Empire. Thank you for stopping by. I am Unknown Emperor, here to bring you my NFL Week 16 predictions. And since I was unable to give my Week 15 review, I'm going to drop a quick review to start this video. While you're here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment how you feel about how your NFL season is going. And thank you for stopping by the Empire. Let's get into it. So NFL Week 15, quick review by Unknown Emperor, is led by me going 11-5 with my predictions. I don't know what was up with me with the Monday night games, and I picked two underdogs. I was sadly mistaken. I don't know why. And then Jalen Waddle got hurt. That's how Miami lost. That's not how Miami lost. That's how I lost my fantasy game. But Miami lost to Houston. They're not a good football team. I kept wanting to make them something good. They weren't. The Carolina Panthers lost to the Dallas Cowboys. I picked the Carolina Panthers to beat them. They put up a good fight, but they just was unable to get the win. And the other game I was wrong about was the Jets. I thought the Jacksonville Jaguars was going to beat the Jets, but in the second half of that game, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams turned back the hands of time and went ballistic. That also cost me my fantasy game. But the Philadelphia Eagles proved that they can throw the ball, knowing that they had to shut a lot of people up. And again, about the Philadelphia Eagles game, passing was what we needed to work on. That was not a shot at Jalen Hurts. The Buffalo Bills take care of the Detroit Lions to make Detroit 12-2. Now we have three 12-2 teams: the Vikings, the Eagles, the Lions, and you already know I'm going flying with the Philadelphia Eagles being the best team in the NFL now, because the Lions are vulnerable. Weak. Who are the number one? The Rams. The Rams are the number one seed in the NFC West. You don't really want to see that offense right now. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay has that offense going crazy. That defense is flying to the ball. The Rams are a scared team to face right now. Cincinnati keep their playoff hopes alive, beating Tennessee. Kansas City eke out a win with Mahomes hobbled. Washington keep their playoff hopes alive, beating the Saints. Baltimore look to get back on track against the Giants, but it's the Giants. Bo Nix continue his Rookie of the Year campaign. Arizona handle business with the Patriots. Tampa Bay handles business with the Chargers. Green Bay walk into Seattle and beat down the 12th man. And as I stated, Chicago loses to the Vikings. The Vikings go to 12-2. And the Atlanta Falcons beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And they benched Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins has not been playing to the potential. And Michael Penix get to start Week 16 in the NFL season. That is the end of the review. As I stated, we went 11-5, bringing our total record at the end of Week 15, 134 wins to 90 losses. We have a lot of games going into Week 16. We have a lot of important games. You have the Texans and the Chiefs with Mahomes hobbled. You have the Broncos and the Chargers leading off the Thursday night game. You have the Steelers and the Ravens fighting for the AFC North. So we are not going to beat around. I don't want to make this video too long, but even if it is, I do appreciate y'all for watching. We are going to get into these unknown predictions. Week 16 starts off with AFC West divisional action as the 9-5 Broncos take on the 8-6 Chargers on Prime. Let's get into how these teams got to this point. The Broncos has been on a tear since starting the season, under 500. I want to say they started 1-4 or 2-3, something like that. And since then, they have been 8-2 in the last 10 games. Bo Nix has been playing phenomenal. That defense has been suffocating. And then let's get to the Chargers. They're 8-6. They're in a nice position. They are certainly in the playoff position right now. They control their own destiny. All they would have to do is win out. And both of these teams are under the Kansas City Chiefs. Ain't no way they are going to catch them right now. So they're just fighting for the 5, 6, and 7 seeds in the AFC. Coming from this game, coming from the loss that the Chargers had, and the win that the Broncos coming from, I'm gonna flip on what I know. No, I'm gonna stay true to the formula. Broncos is going to get the dub because I do not trust Justin Herbert. I do not trust that Harbaugh, and I do not trust the Chargers to get it done in prime time. So I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix continue his Rookie of the Year campaign. Got to give it to him. Now, people are going to give it to Jaden Daniels. That's fine. I wouldn't be mad if he got it. But in the same breath, I'd give it to Bo Nix. But we're going with the Broncos over the Chargers. Next, we have the 9-5 Texans taking on the 13-1 Kansas City Chiefs with a hobbled Mahomes. Here, I believe that since Mahomes is playing, they are going to beat the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans did get a win against the Miami Dolphins last week, but this Houston Texans team is extremely inconsistent. So can't trust them. And I trust Mahomes, whether he's at 50%, 70%, 110%. I trust Patrick Mahomes in any facet of the game. They want that number one seed. He's going to fight for it, and I feel like this game is going to get them one step closer to it. And then that's Saturday. We have another Saturday game. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 10-4 taking on the Ravens that are 9-5. Pittsburgh gets the win. They all but clinch the AFC North. The Ravens get the win. They tie it up. They even up the series, and it makes the last 2 weeks of the NFL season a little bit more interesting for both teams, seeing who captured the AFC North title. This game, I feel like Baltimore is going to eke out the dub. Last game, the Steelers did get the best of Baltimore. The Steelers got the best of Baltimore. That's why if they win this game, they damn near just clinch the AFC North. I feel like Baltimore Ravens is going to get the win. They're going to ride the heels of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So can't help it. Can't help but to believe in King Henry. Then we get into our Sunday games, which is led by the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. And the Philadelphia Eagles are fighting to get that number one seed. I feel like they take care of business with Washington this week. They continue. We got to get Saquon back involved. Last week, they wanted to prove a point with passing, but you can't necessarily lose what has got us here. That's riding Saquon, no Diddy. That's putting the ball in his hand at least 25 times to 30. That's going to ensure us a victory, get him one step closer to that rushing title, take care of business. Washington has fallen from their high horse a little bit. They are going to cause that damage. They can have any team. This is a divisional contest, so anything can happen. But since we got to do our predictions, I'm going to put my money into the Philadelphia Eagles. Next, we have the 8-6 Los Angeles Rams taking on the 4-10 New York Jets, and the Rams are playing at a different status right now. The Rams are on a different level. I don't believe that the Jets are going to eke out a second half again like they did against the Jaguars to pull out that dub. The Rams are going to be a little bit too much for this team. The Los Angeles get the dub. Next, we have the 2-12 New York Giants taking on the newly led Michael Penix 7-7 Atlanta Falcons. I feel like since it is the Giants, he gonna eke out a victory. This is a nice testing ground. I feel like they knew what they were doing. They wanted to get Michael Penix in the game. They didn't want him to start against their Raiders defense. They wanted him to start against this Giants team, someone that they feel like they can beat, someone that they feel like this can be a bye week for him so he can get some real-time practice, get into the thing. And I feel like Kirk Cousins has been coaching him up, so he's going to get in and he is going to cause havoc. The Atlanta Falcons can be very dangerous. I feel like they get the dub. It's the Giants. I'm not going to vote for the Giants. We have the Arizona Cardinals 7-7 taking on the 3-11 Panthers. And I just want the Panthers to get the win. I want Bryce Young to get a big victory. Right now, the Cardinals are a nice teetering playoff team, 7-7. They are a nice test, and I want Bryce Young to get that vote of confidence beating a nice team. Next, we have the 3-11 Cleveland Browns taking on the 6-8 Cincinnati Bengals. And Cleveland just benched Jameis Winston for Dorian Finney-Smith. I want to say that's who they did it for. I don't know. Joe Burrow. I'm going to put all my eggs in the Cincinnati Bengals basket against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland isn't good. Is not good. They are not good. Then we have the 3-11 Tennessee Titans taking on the 6-8 Indianapolis Colts. It's the Titans. It's the Titans. It's the Titans. It's the Titans. I'm not going to vote for the Titans. We're just going to go for the Colts and just keep it pushing. There's not too much we got to go into depth here. It's the Titans. We don't put too much credence in it. Same thing I'm going to say with the next team. It's the 12-2 Detroit Lions taking on the 4-10 Chicago Bears. I know on Thanksgiving they gave them a run for their money, but this game is not going to be that. Detroit is, as much as I would like the Chicago Bears to upset the Detroit Lions, I don't feel like this is going to happen. Caleb Williams isn't playing smart football. He isn't getting the ball out on time. He's not getting the ball out to the open receiver. He's playing a little scared. I don't know what's going on. Detroit is dealing with a lot of injuries, but most of their key pieces are still there, enough for them to have an efficient offense and efficient defense to beat the Chicago Bears. So I feel like they lean on their offense a little bit here because that is their strong suit, and just go ballistic. Then we get into some nice tough action with the Vikings 12-2 taking on the Seattle Seahawks, sitting at 8-6. The Vikings are playing on another level. Sam Darnold is playing at another level. He has his team fighting for the number 1 seed, where at the beginning of the season, nobody saw them getting to this spot right here. So he's proven a lot of people wrong. Jay Jettas being the number 1 receiver in the NFL. Him and Jamar Chase flipping back from 1-2, 2-1. So, this is going to be a tough one. I want to do wishful thinking and pick the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm not. Seattle plays too inconsistent. They play too up and down. Geno Smith is hurt. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. That defense, Brian Flores has that defense playing on a completely different level. That offense is clicking right now. Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson is getting involved with Jay Jettas, which makes this offense extremely dangerous. You don't want to light box because Aaron Jones can gut you up the middle. So this team is dangerous going into the playoffs. And they just continue that momentum against an okay team in the Seattle Seahawks. You have the Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. It's the Patriots. If you've been following along with my channel, we're going to go with Buffalo here. Josh Allen is right now the MVP. As much as I would love to give it to Saquon, Josh Allen has been balling on another level. He has lost to the Rams, but he just beat the number one team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. So it's crazy what it's doing. We have a turbo in the Jaguars taking on the Raiders. They're both, the 1-3-11, the other one's 2-12. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They put up enough offense in the recent games, and I'm sure Las Vegas is tanking. I'm sure they are tanking. They're gonna fire their coach. They're going to draft Shedeur Sanders, and it's like the Giants and the Raiders are just fighting to see who gets Shedeur. So that's that. You have the 6-8 49ers taking on the 6-8 Dolphins. Both teams are extremely disappointing. I'm gonna go with Miami to get the dub, with no credence behind that. Both of these teams are injury riddled. Both of these teams are underperforming. The Dolphins have a little bit more to play for. That's the only reason why I'm going with the Dolphins. And then we get our Sunday night game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And Tampa Bay is going to get this dub. Tampa Bay is going to get this win. Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans is going to connect and go off in this game. You gotta love it. Unless you're a Cowboys fan. And this is just going off the fact that the Buccaneers want their NFC West. Even without Chris Godwin, this team is extremely versatile. Even if they had Chris Godwin, I'm sure their record would be a little bit better having that other receiver out there. But it has been a nice season. Baker Mayfield has revitalized his career with Tampa Bay. The Cowboys, Cooper Rush has shown signs of being a team, but not enough for me to just be like, they're gonna beat this well-oiled machine. They're gonna beat this good juggernaut or this good running team that's riding on momentum in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can't do it. And then we have our Sunday night game with the Saints taking on the Packers. I'm gonna go with the Packers. Saints don't have an offense. They have Alvin Kamara and they have trick plays. They don't really have an offense, and they don't really have a defense either. The Saints are just in a tough little spot. Then the tough little spot, we got it is what it is. And there you have it. We have unknown predictions, and we're going to run off the teams that I feel like we are going to pick or feel like that's going to win this week. We have the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Rams, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Bengals, the Colts, the Lions, the Vikings, the Bills, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Green Bay Packers. As you know, during these predictions, I always give you my 3 games to watch this week. 3 games to watch this week. The Thursday night game, the Broncos taking on the Chargers. They're both fighting for a playoff spot. These are both teams that are playing extremely well. This is going to be a tough divisional fight. You have the Steelers and the Ravens. They are playing for the number 1 seed in the AFC North. And last game left a sour taste in the Ravens' mouth. They want to get it out. They want to prove that they can beat the Steelers. Go out there and beat them. And then you have, I would say, the next best game would be the Lions and the Bears. Only because the Lions are the number 1 seed. They are playing injured. You have to watch out for them. If the Bears go in there and cause havoc, then any team can go in there and cause havoc. And now you're a little afraid for what they stuff is looking for. And now we have our top 5 teams heading into week 16. This more or less, spoiler alert, it's the same 5 teams. We just had a reshuffling of the deck a little bit. I'm gonna skip the pleasantries and hop right into my top 5. At number 5, we have, falling from number 1, the Detroit Lions. Injury riddled, just coming off of a loss of a tough team. I've been waiting to put them down for the longest, and they have given me a reason to. At number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings, playing extremely well. I could have flipped them to number 3, but I'm going to keep them at number 4 for right now. Wait till after this week. At number 3, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 2, we have the Buffalo Bills. And happy to say, the number 1 team in the NFL right now is the NFL leading defense, the NFL leading rusher. Nah, let me stop playing. The Philadelphia Eagles are the number 1 team in the NFL heading into week 16. They are the most complete team right now. They are playing at an extremely different level. I would say that the Philadelphia Eagles are the number 1 team in the NFL right now. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe while you're here. Leave a comment about how your NFL season is going. Let me know who your top 5 teams are. I'll see you when I see you.